Hive Deathrun has a multitude of maps to play on, but these maps can differ greatly in length and enjoyment. This video will cover my opinions and ranking on each of the 19 maps currently available in Deathrun, with S rank being the best of the best, and D tier being the worst of the worst. Cave is one of many original maps added with Deathrun that was taken from the Java edition of the server. It is a somewhat short map with a high number of checkpoints, making it decent for XP. For a casual player, it's enjoyable, with most traps being easy to dodge. However, from a speedrunner's point of view, it is quite a linear map with there not being many major skips. Considering its age, it still holds up and is quite fun to play if you're doing it casually, so I'll be giving it a B tier. Prison is one of my personal favourites to play in public lobbies. It features a few precise skips, but for the most part it's a dash to the finish line with traps that are mostly easy to dodge. It is also good for XP over a longer session, due to its high checkpoint count and short length. I think that this warrants an A tier ranking. I really dislike school for many reasons. Firstly, the route for speedrunning the map isn't that fun for me, and it's quite dull, and the skips are highly dependent on ping instead of skill. Secondly, the map is pretty broken in two main areas: the ice traps and the checkpoint directly following the ice traps. The ice blocks act as two separate traps, meaning they can be activated individually by death, but both can be activated from the same point at the same time, which isn't meant to happen. I think the checkpoint glitch is fixed now, which was where the ice section, if you jumped on the ice, the checkpoint wouldn't register and you wouldn't get the XP. But I'm not too sure if it has actually been fixed. Either way, I don't like the map, so I'm giving school a D tier. Temple is the newest map on Deathrun, and instantly became one of my favourites as soon as it released. It is one of the longest maps, but gives the most amount of XP out of any Deathrun map by a huge margin. The map also includes new traps that feature custom blocks made by the Hive, such as the swinging axes. Temple is also really fun to play, with the traps being quite fair and usually easy to dodge. I haven't tried to speedrun the map properly yet, but the run looks like a lot of fun, so I'm going to give Temple an S tier. It is a really good map. I'm not too much of a fan of Primus, but I don't dislike the map. It's decently long, but gives awful XP rates considering how long it takes to complete. I enjoy the map if I'm playing it in a custom server, but I usually stay away from it in public games because the majority of the traps can instantly kill you with no chance to dodge them. I'm going to give Primus a C tier. It's nothing special, but not terrible. Sub-Zero is a staple of Hive Deathrun, and is still one of the most popular maps. I personally enjoy it. The strategies that you can use by making use of the ice blocks dotted around makes each run fresh. It's a pretty long map with decent XP, and the traps are quite standard but easy to maneuver. All in all, I think this map deserves an A tier. It's really good. I've grown to like Relic. It used to be one of my least favourites, but the more I played it, the more I started to enjoy it. It's a long map, but gives the lowest XP out of all but one other course. The map itself is pretty fun, but I find it less enjoyable when played in public games, and prefer to play the map in custom servers. It also has a few skips that are really fun to do and pull off. I think this map deserves a B. It would be an A, but the XP rate is way too low for it to be on that tier. I find Seaside to be quite boring, to be honest. To me it just feels quite bland, and nothing really sets it apart from the rest of the maps. I like that there are several strategies you can use for leap patterns, but that's about it. The XP on this map is also joint lowest with Relic, so that also increases my dislike of this map. I'm going to be putting Seaside at a D tier. Synthwave is a great map. Aesthetically, I think it is the best map out of the current Deathrun courses. The map really captures the retro and synthwave style that it was setting out to do, and it's also really fun to play. Hive tried to innovate on this map, adding automatic time traps and alternate routes that you can use. The XP is nothing special considering the length of the map, but is still a decent amount. I'm going to be putting Synthwave at an S tier. It is simply brilliant. I always forget how fun Viaduct is. I think I'm put off due to the length of the map, but I should probably play it more. I like how the map continuously builds upon itself, and towards the end you can see the start of the course below you. The XP is decent for the length of the map, but nothing crazy. One of the only things I don't like about it is the distance between some checkpoints, as if you die at the end of one of them, you'll probably be sent back to last place. Other than that though, I think this map deserves an A. It would be an S tier, but I personally dislike the colour scheme of the map. Gardens is a classic map, but I can never really get into the rhythm of the course, especially in the second half of the run. The map looks really good, and is up there as one of the best looking in my opinion. The XP is pretty good considering the length of the map, and my favourite part is that you can skip the entire first parkour section if you save your leap and leap across the length of the trap. All in all, I think Gardens deserves a B tier. It isn't bad by any means, but it just isn't one of my personal favourites. Venice is special to me, as it was the first ever speedrun I uploaded to speedrun.com in 2019. The map is very fun to play, and aesthetically it looks amazing. The XP isn't too good though, but the map isn't very long, so that's expected. I really like the skips you can do in the run too, as they aren't anything crazy but are still really nice when you pull them off successfully. I'm going to give Venice an A tier. I think Toys is pretty average. It isn't anything special and the traps are quite simple and easy to dodge. I do like the theme of the map, but that's the only thing I can say is outstanding. The XP is average considering the length of the map, and there really isn't much to say about the course. It's okay, so I'm going to give it a C tier. It's pretty average. I highly dislike Stu. To me it feels quite dreary and bleak colour wise, and I don't like the course itself very much. The only redeeming feature is the XP, which is below average for the length of the map. The vast majority of the traps are not possible to dodge, and are instant kills if you get caught. I think it deserves a D tier. I don't like it. It's not good. I think Metropolis is quite underrated, and is another map that is special to me, as it is the map I got my first world record on in 2020. The map is very short, and does give quite a low amount of XP, but the map is quite easy to get through. I like the theme of the map too, it feels quite unique. I'm going to give Metropolis a B tier ranking. It would be higher, but it doesn't feel like the map tries to innovate very much, but it's still a good map. This is another map I can't really get into speedrunning wise. There isn't anything specific about it, I just don't really like the run. The map itself looks great, and the theme of going through the stages of the game has been done very well. The XP on the map is quite low in relation to the length of the map, but I think the enjoyment of a casual run neutralises that. I think Survival deserves an A tier. Village is a really fun map to play, and is one of my personal favourites in public games. There aren't too many strategies you can do during a run, but the simplicity is what makes it one of my favourites. The XP on the map is quite low though, so I don't play it if I'm trying to grind levels, as the map is very long. It's quite easy to get through a game, as the traps are fairly easy to dodge and to get through if you use your leaps right. I'm going to give Village an A tier. It would be an S tier, but I don't really like the look of the map itself. Western is a pretty forgettable map for me, and it definitely isn't one of my go-to maps when I want to play Deathrun. The course is pretty standard, and doesn't feature anything too insane, but it's pretty fun to play if you're in the mood. The XP is average for the length of the map, so I wouldn't use this map to grind. I'm going to give Western a C tier. It's pretty average. Terminal is my favourite map out of all that are currently available. I absolutely love the route, the skips, and the theme of the map. Who would have thought that running around a train terminal would be so fun? The XP isn't too good, but the enjoyment I get out of the map is enough to not care about the XP. My favourite part is the skip I have dubbed Terminal Skip, which is where you can cut the corner around halfway into the map and skip most of a checkpoint. Terminal is an easy S tier. There isn't really much more to say. It is a brilliant map. Well, that's my list. What are your favourite maps? I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Keep on gaming, and I'll see you soon. Bye!